this video, we're going to practice reallocating expenses. And this is pulled from our advanced level ProAdvisor certification course, which if you would like more information about that course after we go through the exercise, be sure to click on the link below in the description. Let's dive right in and see what we're going to do today. The exercise is going to be over here, and here is our scenario. Over the last couple of months, Craig spent about $300 on soil for various landscaping jobs. Now that the jobs are done, he sees that he spent about $100 of it each on three of his customers: Red Rock Diner, Paulson Medical Supplies, and Cookies by Kathy. How can you add these to their invoice without going into each of the old expense transactions? This is a perfect time to create a $0 transaction. So to do this exercise, you need to be in the sample company. Now, if you're not sure how to get into the sample company or get your own free QBOA account, be sure to click on the link below in the description. I have the sample company over here on the left-hand side. This is the dashboard and where we will work today. So let's get started with the exercise. The first thing we need to do is create an expense transaction. So to do this, we need to click on the plus new button and then select expense. The plus new button is up here on the top left corner. Click on that and then under vendors, select expense. Now remember, this is a $0 transaction, so we don't have a payee. So you can go ahead and leave the payee field blank, but we do need to add a clearing account. So to do that, we need to set it up as a checking type bank account. To do it in the payment field, we're going to select plus add new. So click on that down arrow and then select plus add new. We're going to leave the account type as bank. In the detail type, we need to change this to checking. Even though this is not an actual checking account, we are using that for this clearing account. And then in the name field, we need to change this to clearing. So go ahead and delete and then type in clearing and then go ahead and click on save and close. And that payment account has been created. Now, first, using the category details grid, we need to remove $300 from job expenses, job materials, plants, and soil account by entering it as a negative number. Now, as a note here, make sure you are selecting the correct one. There are two plants and soil accounts that are very similarly named. One is an expense account, one is an income account. If you select the income account, you're going to get an error. So make sure you are selecting the one that is underneath job expenses. So on the first line in the category field, go ahead and select plants and soil. You can click on into it 2 times and then scroll down. We are here in the expenses. We are looking for job expenses, job materials, plants, and soil. This is the one that you want. So once you find it, go ahead and select it. In the amount field, we're typing -300. Remember, we're removing it from that category, and then you'll see what we do, but we need to do that in order to make it a $0 expense. So go ahead and type in -300. And now we need to individually enter $100 for the same plants and soil account for each of the lines, marking each one billable to the individual customer. So on the second line in the category field, let's once again select that same category. So click into it 2 times. You can either type it or scroll down until you find it. It's not too far down. So once you do, go ahead and click on it. This time we are going to do positive $100, not a negative, but a positive. So just type in $100 because we're starting to balance out that the expense so that we can get it to 0. In the billable field, you need to click on the checkbox. You may need to click onto it 2 times, possibly, in order to have it selected. But if you only click it once, just make sure that it is selected either way. In the customer field, we're going to select Red Rock Diner. So go ahead and click into that customer field. You can scroll down or start typing in their name. Either way is fine. And once you find their name, go ahead and select it. Now we need to repeat these steps for Cookies by Kathy and Paulson Medical Supplies. So let's go ahead and do that. Once again, in that category field on the third line, click into it 2 times and scroll down a little bit until you get to plants and soil. Once again, we're going to do $100. Then we'll mark it as billable. And then we will do this one for Cookies by Kathy. So go ahead and select her name once you find it. And now let's do it one more time, this one for Paulson Medical Supplies. So in that category field on the fourth line, click into it, scroll down until you find plants and soil underneath job materials. Then the amount once again is $100. You're going to click on that billable checkbox, and then you need to click on the customer field and find Paulson Medical Supplies. And there you go. You will notice now that this expense, now that we have added all the information, the result is a $0 expense. So we've done everything correctly. Now we can just go ahead and save and close. So go ahead and click on the green Save and Close button down here on the bottom right corner of the sample company. That $0 expense has been saved. And since these expenses are now marked as billable. Remember, we checked that billable checkbox. You can create the invoices for each of these customers and they will show up in the drawer. We're not doing that as part of this exercise, but just know that that would be the next step here. And that is how you would reallocate expenses. If you like this exercise and you want to do more like it, or if you would like more information about the advanced level ProAdvisor certification course, be sure to click on the link below in the description. And I will see you in the next exercise.